All right, team, welcome to your Abs, Buns, and Guns. This is going to be number 10 in this series. So looking at equipment, if you have it, you're going to bring it in. If you don't have equipment, no worries. You can take the whole class without and just kind of modify and change things up for you. If you do have equipment, I want you to grab a pair of ankle weights. And then as always, you have the option to leave them off for the beginning warm-up section and then add them for the legs. Or you can wear them throughout the whole class. And then today we're not doing any double ankle weights. So we've got our core, we've got our leg series, our arms, and our legs on the other side. And that is it. If you have dumbbells, I want you to have a pair of lighter dumbbells for your upper body, as well as one heavier dumbbell, because we're going to work with one weight and both arms at the same time. And then if you have a block, bringing a block in. If you don't have a block, you could do this first sequence with your foot on the floor, but it's going to help if you're elevated. So if you have some books that you can stack, you can do it with a ball, but it's going to make it way more challenging. So just something to get your foot a few inches off the floor and give your body some more height. It's going to make this drill a little bit more accessible. So our theme for today is talking about mindset and what kind of mindset you have, not just on your mat, but in every aspect of your life, and how you take that with you. Do you have a fixed mindset that says, I can't do this, I get frustrated and I forget about it? Or do you have a growth mindset that says, I can learn anything, I can learn new skills, I can get better and grow as I go throughout my life? So that's what we're talking about today. If you're wearing the ankle weights there, we're gonna pop them on now. I'm gonna wear them the whole time so that I can be on this struggle bus with you guys. And then you're gonna place the block nearby, because we're gonna use that almost right away. So both ankle weights coming on to the legs. Only one set needed. If you like it extra heavy, feel free. Block is just going to be off to the side for now on the left portion of the mat. You're going to lay flat on your back in Pilates stance, feet flat on the floor, hip width distance, slightly forward of the knees, arms are down by the sides. You're in a neutral position of the spine and the pelvis. Inhale as you prepare. On the exhale, you're going to pull the belly button in towards the spine. That engages the core. Tilt your pelvis, hip points towards the sternum, and then slowly peel your hips up one vertebra at a time. Inhale at the top. Exhale, rolling down, upper back, mid back, lower back, and then your hips touch just back to the neutral spine. So we're not going to go into an arch. Inhale. Exhale, press through the forearms, press through the palms. You make a straight line at the top. Knees, hips, shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, roll down. Two more. As you inhale, you're going to breathe in laterally through the sides of the ribs. So we're not going to breathe into the belly once the core is engaged. You're going to think about breathing into the sides and the back. Last one, inhale at the top. Exhale, roll down. From here, you're just going to take your block. It's going on the floor underneath your left foot. If you need to sit up to do that, go for it. Block is going to face forward. Your whole foot's on the block. Walk your hips a little bit closer, extend your right leg long, and then externally rotate the right leg. Now you're gonna lift the hips, but I want you to purposely make your left hip be higher than the right. So the left hip is elevated, the right leg is sliding, kind of dragging along the floor, and the hips are at this diagonal. So if you were to place a pearl on the left hip, it would roll down to the right and then down onto the floor. Driving down through the left foot, you're going to activate and engage the hamstrings and the glutes on the left side. The right leg is long and just along for the ride. So I'm not really lifting using the right side just yet. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, hips up and hold. Leave the left hip higher. Just squeeze the right leg up to meet the left and down. So I want you to think about the inseam of your pants or your leggings, and you're going to bring those two inseams to meet. Now I'm not squaring off like this. Left hip is still higher, and I'm using the upper body, the arms, pushing the palms down into the mat, keeping the length through the body. Brush the leg up, lift, squeeze through the inner thighs for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, now you're going to lift the leg up and hold. Keep it there. Now you get to square off the hip, externally rotate and drop. Square, drop, square, drop. We're not here long. So now you get to pick up the right hip and then drop it back down.
As you drop the hip, externally rotate the leg, parallel, rotate for 5, 4, 3, 2, keep it square, keep it parallel, lower the hips, lower the leg. You're gonna lift the legs, lift the hips, you brush down and brush up. All the way up, all the way down. And I want you to purposely come all the way to the floor, not necessarily releasing and relaxing fully, but I want you to have to re-engage through the left side hamstring to lift the hips and then brush the leg back up. And just noticing how it felt on that first side, and if it was a new movement pattern for you, how your attitude starts to shape your movement and your experience. For 3, 2, we're gonna put all of that together. Last one, externally rotate the right leg again. Lift the left hip. So we're gonna push through the left hip for 1. Lift the right leg for 2. Parallel square it off for 3. Lower everything together for 4. We're gonna do that a few more times. Externally rotate, lift, left hip leads. Lift the right leg, square, lower, rotate, push to lift, leg brush, square it off. So you'll notice there's a lot happening. There's a ton of engagement on this left side hamstring and glute. And you're also working the internal and external rotation or parallel through the right hip. Last one, rotate, lift, squeeze, square, lower. From here, just hug the knees in. You're gonna rock and roll up, move your block off to the side. Coming onto the toes, you're gonna sit up tall, hands grab for the backs of the thighs, inhale. As you exhale, round and roll back, find your C curve, and then you're gonna hover your toes, elbows stay wide. We're gonna roll like a ball. Inhale, back to the shoulders. Exhale as you roll up, balance. Ideally, the feet and toes never touch the floor. If they need to act as brakes for a second, you can, but you're maintaining as much as you can the rounding of the back, the C curve shape, pulling the hip points up towards the ribs. Abs are in and up. So you're in complete control, and you're not rocking back to the head or the neck, just to the shoulders on the inhale. Find the moment of balance. Exhale. We're here for 5, 4, slow and control. 3, make sure you're articulating, rolling through the spine and not going back with a flat back. I promise it won't feel good. Last 2. Last one, you're gonna stay, balance at the top. From here, the hands are gonna come back behind you. You can stay tall and lean back, or you can come through your C curve. So that means you're gonna tilt the pelvis, but I'm gonna allow you to choose based on what's gonna feel best for your lower back. I'm gonna stay tall on this first set, floating both legs to tabletop, hands back. The further I lean back, the easier it's gonna be. Tapping the right toe, right, left. You're going alternating toe taps, proud through the chest, shoulders back and down. If the elbow is bent like this, cause your shoulders to roll forward. I want you to come onto the forearms, onto the elbows, or take your hands a little bit wider and further back, and you come onto the fingertips. Modification, if that's too much, you're gonna drop down to your C curve, head and shoulders can be lifted, and you can just take one leg at a time. You can even do this in your neutral spine or in your imprint and still work through your toe taps. If you're in your balance, you're up for 10, 9, 8. Lower abs are on pelvic floor, light it up. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Take your block, you're gonna place it now to the right side. Right foot's going on, and make sure your foot is not too far away or too close to your glute. You're looking for that nice in between where your knee is gonna be able to almost stack. You're laying flat on your back. Right foot is elevated on your block, palms are down. Actually rotate the left leg. We go back to the other side. Right hip lifts higher and lower. So I'm not arching the spine to lower the hips, so I'm not releasing and letting that rib cage flare. Everything stays in one piece. If you need to, you can tuck the chin towards the chest. And we're gonna start to burn out this right hamstring and glute. You're gonna feel it pretty quickly. Left leg is along for the ride. And then you're gonna start to notice if one side is stronger or more coordinated than the other. So you're gonna work to even that out. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, keep it lifted. Right hip stays higher. Stamp your right foot down. Left leg meets the right. Keep the external rotation. Remember the inseam, the two inner lines through the inner thighs of your pants, of your leggings, have to come up to meet. Squeeze. So I'm also not keeping the leg out. I'm gonna bring it in. Almost tapping and touching. Press the hips high, firm your right butt cheek. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, leg's gonna come up and hold. Square it off, parallel, external, parallel, external. Hip lift, hip drop. So this might be really subtle. Ooh, but you're gonna feel it through the right leg because now the left leg's lifted too. Core is tight. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, leave it square, lower everything down. Reset if you need to. Left leg brushes, hips, lift. All the way down, all the way up. You can go at your own pace. So if you like to slow this down and really focus on the time under tension and the leg lifting and brushing, none of this needs to be fast. Once you have it, you can always pick up the pace, but I think actually going slow and really targeting the hamstrings on the right side feels good to me. I like it, I dig it. We're almost there. We're gonna put this all together in 3, 2, you got one more. Hold at the bottom, externally rotate. Stamp the right foot down, right hip leads, lift, leg brush, lift. Square, lower, then externally rotate just the left hip. Press, lift, square, lower, rotate, lift. Woo, that right booty. You came for it, you came for it. You came to a class that said abs, buns, and guns, and we are in it. 2 more, rotate, hips up, leg up, square, lower, last one, rotate. Hips, squeeze it, square it, lower. Woo, release. Rock and roll. You're gonna take your block now off to the side. Legs are gonna extend this time. So if you need to leave your knees bent, I'll give you the modification. Reach your arms forward. As you exhale, tilt the pelvis, pull the abs in and up. You're gonna roll 1 vertebra at a time onto your back. Inhale, exhale, chin towards chest, roll up. Sitting up tall at the top. You're looking for the articulation through the spine. Modification, you can come up to a challenging position and then roll back down. You can also bend your knees, place your feet flat on the floor, reach forward. That might make it easier. You can also grab for the backs of the thighs and help let the arms kind of help the abs come all the way up. You've got about 20 seconds. Legs extended is gonna be super, super challenging. And slow it down on the way back. Yes, round through the spine. Slow, slow, slow with control. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll all the way up. You're gonna finish now. Same thing that we did before, you're balancing. Hands can be back, more advanced, fingertips are gonna go forward, or hands are gonna come behind the head. So we're balancing on the tailbone, legs come into a tabletop. Fingertips forward to start, tap, tap, tap. Hands back, easier. The further you lean back, it's gonna take pressure off of the abs and help counterbalance the legs. Advanced, fingertips are forward of the hips or hands back behind the head. Breathing, tapping, modification in your C curve. Press your back into the mat. So if it's bothering your hips, bothering your tailbone, you don't need to balance. You're gonna come in and lock it down. If you're good, you're staying in the balance. For 10, 9, 8, shoulders down, chest up, 7, 6, 5, almost there. We got 4, 3, 2, 1, release.